Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Captain's Draft 3.0, presented by PIA, Private Internet Access. We're here with day number 2, and this is the long day. We had a little reschedule, so day 1 was nice and short, 1 best of 3. Today, we've got a whopping 3 best of 3 schedule. It's going to be a nice, long day, lots of Dota, lots of good stuff. How you feeling, Purge?
I would turn my head and greet you, but I feel like a robot with this microphone.
Well, you're sitting on the you're failing at cable management. That's okay.
There you go. Your head
That's not bad. I got some movement now.
Good. So how you feeling, Purge? Fresh as a daisy? We got up at a nice 5:30 a.m. today, local.
Yeah, I set my alarm wrong because my time zone was incorrect, so I slept till like 5:45.
Does it not auto-detect where you are?
I can check a box whether I want to, and I chose not to.
Of course. Yeah, so Arizona is a very, very fickle state in the fact that we never change times.
Oh, really?
So sometimes it's Pacific, sometimes it's Mountain.
Yeah,
which
Mountain
is kind
and
of weird.
Pacific half the year. That's right.
Yeah. You seemed really befuddled. I called your room this morning from the front desk. I said, "Rise and shine, sleepyhead." You're like, "Did my alarm not go off?"
Yeah, because I was a little awake, and I was feeling pretty good. But I was like, "Oh, I'm just really well rested or something."
We knocked a couple times.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even hear that.
Oh yeah, I gave it a good one too. But, you know. Well, first up today, guys, we've got Alliance versus Vega, so we're getting started, and then we're going to move into Mama's Boys versus Virtus Pro, and final it'll be DC going up against that other team there, Liquid. Yeah, you got it right.
That's right.
So Alliance versus Vega. Let's start there. What are you thinking, Purge? How are you feeling about that series?
That's going to be a really good match. I mean, Vega got a ton of points in the group stage. They ended up almost beating EG. It was very close. They only lost to them due to tiebreaker rules, so I think Vega is one of the best teams right now. Alliance looked amazing when they played against DC and all the other games that they played as well, and they're one of the teams that got invited to the Shanghai Major, so surely they're going to be able to have a really good performance. So I think this is going to be one of the best of threes.
I would agree.
But there's a lot of really good teams. Like, a lot of these matchups are really
There's
solid.
a lot of good teams, but we can't forget Alliance was the only team that was undefeated in the group stage. They didn't drop a single game.
I felt like it wasn't just undefeated. It was like a flawless victory, Mortal Kombat style.
It was, man.
None of the games were close, really. Like that I can at least remember.
You know, we haven't seen Warlock banned a lot, but I feel like if Alliance has Warlock available, they're going to grab it super early. They've shown that Bulldog knows how to play that hero super well.
And it gives you a lot of like matchup possibilities. You can do it like safe solo and then laning against like a bad offlane like an Earthshaker or something. Like not a bad hero, but a hero that's not very good in a 1v1.
Right.
So Warlock gives you a lot of those options. Plus you still get a team fight set. You can get a lot of good advantages out of it, I think.
Delicious. It's really the nectar of the gods at 6 a.m.
You know, knowing you, Shannon, I wouldn't have thought that you were an energy drink guy. Aren't you on like a diet or keto or something where you shouldn't be drinking sugar at 6 in the morning?
This is the week off.
Okay, cheat week.
Like, there's no way I can do this without some sugar in me, so, yeah.
Spoonful of sugar makes the Dota go down.
It is 6 a.m. It's pretty early.
This does have juice in it, technically.
It does say juice on it.
Well, we had...
And by half, I mean 30%.
I was like...
Say. That's close. We round up in America.
I know we have bad math on the moonducktv channel.
Yeah, that's true.
Sometimes we say exponential when really we mean polynomials, but you know.
Okay.
We did have a deep discussion about juice. I actually felt a little bad how much we jumped on Slice. Like, do you guys think we could get some juice instead of so we're like juice? Or he said something healthy like juice.
Let's get juice. It's healthy for you, and we're like, dude,
juice is not healthy.
It's like you take the sweetest parts of a fruit and you throw away all the fiber, and you're like, let me eat that sugar,
and then add some more sugar to it.
Yeah, exactly. It's not very good for
fruit juice.
I'm sure there's a diet out there that will work for somebody.
There are juice diets. I think
like
it makes
the shake. Or what are they called? The
smoothie?
Just a smoothie. It's not with yogurt or anything like that, right?
Yeah, but I think what they do with those is they actually take a plant and they grind it up and then eat it, so it's like they still eat it.
Blending and juicing are different. Yeah, juicing is like you squeeze it so you just get the juice out, but you lose a lot of the fiber. Blending, you get all the good stuff. You get all the fibers all chopped up.
You like fiber?
You should like fiber.
Maybe
that's your problem. Maybe you just don't have enough fiber in your diet.
Well, that could be. I mean, there's too many problems to list.
There's too many problems.
I don't know.
I want to see you go to the gym.
We can go on. No. Okay, you want to hear a quick little story?
We should make a video. We should go to the gym, have a little workout sesh. I think the viewers would like that.
All right, so my dad is pretty damn old, and I went to the gym with him. Like, he's not in shape. This was like 3 years ago. And he's like, here, let me just show you the machines I do. I'm like, okay. So I was like, oh, I'll just do them for fun because I'm just looking around the gym, new to the area. And I did them. They seemed very easy. On the ride home, I vomited everywhere.
Yeah, you probably overworked yourself. When you go like
It's legs. That's what does it every single
Really?
time to
When
me.
you
Is
work out your
legs.
legs?
Yeah, it is brutal.
Leg
it
day
feels
makes
like,
you puke?
Like when I'm doing legs, it doesn't feel difficult. It's actually the easiest part, but it's deceiving, especially if you haven't worked out in a while. So I vomit like every time I do legs.
That's so weird.
So I just don't do legs anymore. So it's all fixed. So we're good.
I've
you do
never
the other
vomited
stuff?
from going to the gym.
I don't
though.
do the other stuff either, actually. now that I
Okay.
think
No wonder you're not throwing up.
Is that like if you don't eat before you go to the gym and then you get all
No,
woozy
it's
because you don't
both.
have enough
It's
energy?
either.
I
It
think it's
doesn't matter.
also if you work out for the first time really hard in a long time, your body's like, yo,
Yeah.
It's
you
a
just did
shock.
something crazy.
Yeah, and the legs are just like, because your legs are typically pretty strong and you can do a lot of weight, and it feels deceiving because it doesn't feel like you're really working out, honestly.
Okay,
All right.
that was an interesting gym assessment.
moonducktv, we work out once every 6 months.
Sounds about right. I want to go to the gym with Slacks. I bet he's a machine. I could see him bench.
His work ethic is anything like his bro ethic, then or opposite.
Yeah, he'd be a buff mother effer, that's for sure.
Well, let's talk about the lower bracket, guys. DC and Mama's Boys, the two obvious underdogs, I think, just in group
Yes.
stage standings, the general performance throughout the tournament. Do either of those teams have a chance against Virtus Pro
Absolutely
and
not.
Liquid?
I don't see DC taking it at all.
I think if any series is going to actually take it, okay, I'm obviously biased, but
no.
the Mama's Boys, they're like, it feels like they're in shambles. I don't even know what their roster is.
I think
Okay,
VP
well-
Mama's Boys is going to be more of a blowout, I would guess. Like, VP's been looking really good, and Mama's Boys is really
Sorry,
shaky.
who's DC playing?
Liquid.
Liquid?
They might both be blowouts, but I think yours is gonna be a blow for sure.
Really?
Like,
you think that's going to be more of
I
a
don't know. Every
blowout?
time I flame you about your team, I want to flame you, but I know there's people on the team that
That's
I
okay.
like.
I'm like
so-
the bulletproof vest
okay.
for the
well,
team. So
I get a little bit of satisfaction watching your team lose because of you, but I'm actually a fan of them normally. But I just love like
an odd
riding this
dynamic.
Flame Suns fan about his team train. Like it's so much fun.
Are you going to be casting
anyways.
the DC
no,
set tonight?
I'm done casting my team.
No? Too much of the emotional roller coaster?
No, not really. It's just like I have to
It's-
censor myself, and it's weird to cast when you have to censor yourself.
Oh, like
Because
choose
I
what
know
you're
I know
saying.
too much information about them.
Yeah.
I don't want to give too much away, and it's
Oh,
like
okay.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
like
Even
doing like casting captain's draft. It's not like there's a. It's not like I'm like screaming yes. Like if it was the major,
Right.
I'd probably be doing that, but not
Okay.
for captain's.
I see what you mean. Sort of like because you watch all the scrims, you know what they're working on, so you're tempted to say, "Oh, why didn't you pick X
Yeah,
hero that you've been
no.
working
Right.
on?"
Plus,
Like that
I
kind of
noticed.
stuff.
I don't know if it's just me, but it could just be me being self-conscious. But when I'm casting them, I noticed that I'm talking more about them than the other team as well, because obviously I
You
know,
know
like
more.
10 times more than.
Well,
most
I mean
people, so.
that makes sense, but that is a struggle. I
So
can see
I'm taking myself out of the equation now, unless there's no other choice.
that. Okay.
In which case we can get Slacks to just cover that for me probably.
Okay. All right. So I got word that we might have a draft here for game one. Not yet. We're very close to a draft here, folks. Alliance versus Vega coming up. I'm really excited for this series. This should really be a good one.
Okay, Vega's been playing well, but you have to keep in mind as far as like them tying EG, they did get a 2 over Mama's Boys. One of those games was a forfeit, and the other game was a complete blowout with Cinderin playing. Like they just
Yeah, it's true.
threw in,
Syndrin
like
was the
two random
stand-in.
players. So it's, I mean, not saying that they wouldn't have 2-0'd anyway, because I think they probably would have, but just something to keep in mind.
Yeah. All right, folks. The draft is ready to rock and roll. We're going to have Mott and the Purge clone casting our first series here, Alliance versus Vega, on the way.
Welcome into Captain's Draft 3.0 presented by PIA as well as brought to you by moonducktv and Dota Cinema. We are here with our upper bracket best of 3 series with Alliance versus Vega Squadron. We're underway. We're in the draft. It's a little bit early here in Phoenix, Arizona. A little bit cold. I was talking, I'm a big fan of the desert when it's warm outside, when it's during the day, in the morning. Not a big fan. So, well, this is going to be a good series, though. Alliance versus Vega. Purge is going to be joining me momentarily here as we're getting set to go. Alliance, obviously, they've won so many games in a row. They have one of the longest win streaks, I think, in Dota history currently going on. And, well,
Vega does?
No, Alliance does.
Oh, I was gonna say. I mean, either team is pretty impressive. This is a bit of an interesting draft. We got a Ricky, we got a Faces Void, got a couple of really good mid heroes: Razor, TA, Gyro, Slark. There's a lot of heroes that have been wrecking in Captain's Draft lately. So any of these heroes, I think, are going to be able to do a lot.
There's a Warlock for Alliance.
And yeah,
They've
and
played that a ton, actually. It's pretty insane.
yeah, it's just really good. It works against a lot of heroes in a 1v1. It can do 1v1 solo. It's just it's not it doesn't have disable, but it has that OP Shadow Word, man. It
Yeah.
just heals and does so much damage.
The amount of sustain you can get from a Shadow Word, especially if you're in, we saw a couple of mid matchups with Warlock where you don't die essentially. I feel like you're already tanking. You have the Null Talisman for extra damage, a little bit of extra tank as well. You pop up the Shadow Word, you're fine, you're good to go. So Alliance have been picking that a lot lately. They have a pretty good, solid amount of heroes that they can go through. There's no Lone Druid was banned out.
It's an enchant though.
There is an Enchantress. There's a lot of good heroes just in general.
There's so
I think.
many. Enchantress, Disruptor, there's a Lich. Like, there are so many viable heroes in this pool.
Yeah.
The only heroes that are, we'd be better off saying what heroes aren't viable, and I
Right.
would say Techies,
Techies.
maybe Pudge, maybe
could see a
Treant
Pudge.
are the lowest levels in this pool, but even like Sand King could get picked. Kunkka could get picked.
What do you think
Omni.
about Doom potentially?
Doom could also get picked. He's been picked by a couple teams.
Yeah.
Like,
There's
they-
Beastmaster too. It's not been banned out, which is
Yeah.
a very popular offlane hero, especially in the American scene too.
Yeah, this is like by far the best draft I've seen so far. Like, look at the bans they used: Lone Druid, Faces Void, Zeus. Those three are all three heroes that are commonly picked in Captain's mode right now. And then Weaver is not picked. Razor is occasionally picked, and Bane is sometimes picked. So it's like we're like literally playing Captain's mode here. This is a Captain's draft, man. Sometimes you just get all the top heroes,
And there it is, it's
and then you're gonna have a
Enchantress.
regular game.
That's just that is not that surprising considering what you're talking about, the bans that came through, and obviously the heroes that are available. There's still a lot of other good heroes. Enchantress is going to be tough to deal with. Maybe some magical burst. We'll see if they
need
go
a
for that.
they need a way to deal with like you said, the magical burst to deal with the hero, but you also need a way to deal with the creeps in lane. That's usually what teams focus on, rather than necessarily having a tri-lane that can kill her. They just want a tri-lane that can deal with her neutrals at level 1, level 2. That way she can't bully them out of lane and get a level advantage.
That's tough because usually you'll see Mirana for that. You'll see a Crystal Maiden. Neither of those are in the pool currently. There's obviously a lot of other options in terms of trying to take down the creeps. We'll see what, and this is going to be more than likely an offlane Enchantress. So we have to see what Alliance drafts in their safe lane to go for it. They'll pick up the Queen of Pain. They'll go for the Gyrocopter as well. And obviously, two very solid heroes. I was going to, say the Gyrocopter is more than likely to be picked up in either safe lane scenario, but Alliance will go for it instead of having Loda pick up something a little bit crazier this game.
Yeah, it's so good against Enchantress, just because you do a lot of magic damage to a single target. You're very fast. You can chase her down. You can just trade a Rocket Barrage, which is 90 mana, for her Nature's Attendants, and it's going to trade out pretty evenly. And then that's going to be on cooldown for like 60 seconds, whereas your Rocket Barrage is back off cooldown. So with just Gyrocopter plus 1 or 2 good disabling supports, they can definitely zone the Enchantress, but it's still going to come down to dealing with those neutrals.
Right, and those neutrals are going to be annoying. They also have the Disruptor coming out for Vega Squadron as well for the Queen of Pain. Very good counter with Glimpse, with Static Storm as well. If you want to be able to kill a Queen of Pain, Glimpse is going to be your #1 priority, I think, getting that off and making sure she gets back into a good spot. They'll also pick up the Beastmaster as well, which means they have more lockdown. So they have some really good damage. They have some really good team fight capability with Roar. Like I talked about, Glimpse and Static Storm. I like Vega's draft right now, and I like the Beastmaster. But this is kind of interesting because usually you see the Enchantress or Beastmaster in the offlane. Now you have to decide which one of these is going to be the support. More than likely, it could be Enchantress in the jungle, I think.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about that. Beastmaster offlane sounds alright versus Gyro, because he can always spawn little creeps to tank less damage for his hero. Like just summon a boar, let it eat some of the Rocket Barrage. But with that said, Gyro versus Beastmaster is also kind of good, just because he will be killing those with Flat Cannon in team fights. So I find that when I play Beastmaster and I'm against heroes that just have a lot of AoE, then I get mitigated more. I might hit a wall where I just get hit by Call Down and Flat Cannon, and all of a sudden my stuff's all dead, and I'm like, well, there goes my Necro 3, that's most of my net worth. Things like that can be a little bit of a pain. But with that said, Beastmaster is just really good against Queen of Pain and Gyro. I love the synergy with Disruptor as well. They can roar into a Static Storm or use a lot of different things. So Beastmaster is just so good. And attack speed for Enchantress is amazing, since that's how she does most of her damage.
That's going to be the Bulldog here. Alliance will pick up the Doom, and that is certainly going to be played by Admiral Bulldog. I do want to talk about, though, I feel like Rubik lifted a Gyrocopter Rocket Barrage is almost impossible to land up against if you're a Beastmaster. I'm not sure, like, how are you going to get less hits? How are you going to get farm? How are you going to get experience? I feel like he has to jungle to a certain extent, use that hard camp in the offlane if he is going to be in the offlane, which I doubt. I mean, I imagine he will. So that's kind of frightening when you think about it.
It could also be mid Beastmaster.
Oh, true.
Actually. True. In that, I mean, not that Enchantress is much better against Rocket Barrage. Okay, so it is going to be support enchant, offlane mag, carry Slark,
Yes.
mid mag, offlane Beastmaster, mid mag, Slark carry, jungle Disruptor, Enchantress.
Yeah.
So
No one's going to play
on
the
those two.
Magnus. Slark's going to be picked up by Pasha. So, yeah, I mean, this is interesting for sure.
This game actually looks kind of standard, with the exception of maybe the Magnus pick and the Slark carry. I think all of these other heroes could be played in the regular meta, maybe Rubik as well. But Alliance picks Lich often. They're going to do Lich Doom in the offlane. Slark's going to get punished. If the enchant ganks can be really good from solo, then Vega can open this game up, get Slark a fast Shadow Blade, and have him start rampaging against Rubik and Lich.
Yeah.
But you don't really want to play Rubik versus Slark. That doesn't sound very fun. But
No.
Alliance can also win the mid matchup of Queen of Pain versus Magnus, so they have the potential to just stomp 2 lanes. Not to mention Gyro plus supports is pretty solid.
10 seconds remaining.
Vega's going to have to put, I think, a support mid, perhaps, to help out
5 seconds
I'm sorry,
remaining.
to help out Nolan a little bit on the Magnus, because he's just going to have a little bit of a tough time. I
Yeah,
think.
that matchup doesn't seem all that great coming out for Vega, for no one early on in the game.
Yeah, their lanes just aren't as good. It's that straightforward, but their mid-game ganks and teamfights can be pretty good.
Well, we're going to jump into the game. It is going to be Vega versus Alliance here in this best of 3, our first best of 3 of the day. And this is obviously going to be very favored for Alliance as we start off this game. They have had a huge win streak. It has been extremely impressive. They, I think, 6-0'd in terms of the group stages. They didn't drop a single game during the series. Their play has been absolutely outstanding. Vega, they are no slouches, though. They are a team. They've had a couple of roster changes over the past couple of months, past couple of years. They've done really well. The addition of Magid solo has been very impressive. And Known One is one of the brightest young mids out there.
Yeah.
His play has been absolutely outstanding, but he's going to have to be going up against one of the gods of Dota, S4, in this mid lane playing the Queen of Pain.
It's going to be pretty hard. S4 is notoriously just really good at rotating, TPing the lanes, getting a double kill, things like that. So, and he's good at getting haste runes. It just simply happens, and he uses them in it.
Yeah, I just,
like,
it's not even fair sometimes, I feel like.
You know, it's the reason you notice him getting haste runes is because he does amazing things, and you're like, oh, why did he just get a double kill? You're like, wow, he got a haste rune. S4 gets haste runes all the time, and he maybe gets them slightly more than the average player, but if you combine it with an amazing play, then you blame the haste rune.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's lots of haste runes that are gone that don't provide good things, so he's just a good player, man. And Quap is a hero that really lets him get stuff done. He creates space on the map. He's going to give space to farm for Bulldog and Loda, and then maybe they'll take the win. But Vega's very, very talented as well.
Yeah.
I really see a lot of potential in these guys.
They've done a lot of work over the past couple of months. Yeah, obviously, ESL 1 New York was their, I think, biggest thing that's happened to them for a long time. They've played extraordinarily well since then. They've kind of, I think, gone by the wayside recently, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, they've had some dips here and there, but I still think they're extremely good.
Yeah.
Like they had a disappointing run at Frankfurt Major. I think they got like bottom 6 or something, but they were the only team to beat OG at Frankfurt Major, so you could maybe blame the bracket a little bit or something like that.
We'll get a pause real quick. Loda will get in pause. They have a second, and we'll see how this goes. It is going to be, interestingly enough, a dual lane top lane. So more often than not, they say the Admiral Bulldog in the safe lane, they really love running the aggro duel, aggro try kind of thing coming out from Alliance. And they'll send Loda down bottom again. And with the Gyrocopter as well, they're going to be going up against Mag and the Beastmaster. Maybe they were trying to, I think, dodge this lane, either Vega or Alliance were, but it makes more sense for Vega to go, or for Alliance to go aggressive and try to deal with the Beastmaster and stop him from farming.
Yeah, I think it had to it was based on the rune stuff. They kind of just revealed where their lanes were going, more or less. And because of that, it kind of messed everything up. Like, you see where they're going, then you can predict where you think they're going to go, then you do a lane matchup that you think is solid for your team. And I think it just worked out really well for Alliance. Alliance wanted to put the Lich versus the Slark. They've got a Lich versus the Slark. Their offlane is what, Gyro versus... Oh, sorry. Gyro and a Rubik versus a Mag Beastmaster solo. Like, they can definitely win these lanes.
Yeah, and already you see the level 1 Rocket Barrage coming out. He was near the creep wave, so the damage wasn't that high, but in terms of bringing Mag down pretty well, he's already at a half health currently. They can right-click him down. EGM has done a great job zoning him out. Meanwhile, this top lane is going to be, I think, a little bit more difficult for Vega. They have to deal with Sacrifice early on here. Bulldog has Scorched Earth. It's going to be tough to bring him down. He's pretty tanky. He's got the Ensnare as well to net. So I feel like this is going to be an okay lane for Alliance. They're going to send up Solo. He's got the Smoke of Deceit gank at the ready. And it looks like he might be able to wrap around through the tower if they want to be able to push this out. Maybe just go straight through the lane instead. He's going to work his way behind. He's got the Hellbear as well as the Dark Troll. He's going to run right in. Bulldog might be in trouble. He's going to get the Scorched Earth off. There's going to be the Hellbear smash coming through with the Thundercup. The Pounce is up as well. He pops the Fairy Fire, but it's going to be the first bullet coming up from Seema. Solo's going to fall to the tower here. He's trying to use his Nature's Defense to heal up, but here comes more right clicks. Pasha has got the Essence Shift, but he's taking a lot of tower hits. Kinetic Field flies through. He actually gets caught. Now he uses the Fairy Fire, but another Hellbear Thunderclap comes in. 2 dead. They will lose Solo, but Seema is going to be caught out. Maybe he's actually going to just be able to get away from the tower hits. He's going to eat a Tango as well and be fine. Really good aggression from Vega. A pretty good start to this game.
Yeah, the Doom actually went down really fast there, but he does have 0 armor. He's just got a stout shield at the moment, so any right-click damage is really going to hurt him. And 2 creeps there, plus that many disables. You just can't deal with it.
Yeah. I feel like they might have just missed that kill had it not been for the kinetic field. Bottom, there's going to be a hero caught out. It's going to be down. It's going to be through. They've rotated Pasha. They get the kill on the EGM. So they've rotated the lane, and they got the kill out of it as well. So they didn't see him TP in. There's not a ward behind the tower or anything, and Pasha's able to find a free one there. So nice pickup coming up from him.
Yeah, really early rotation, but it's going to be Beastmaster swapping to the off lane. I kind of like that they did that as a result of getting kills rather than just going, because by doing it unpredictably like that, they also turned it into a gank, which means that it wasn't just like a passive, okay, we're all good, we're going to break even here. They're like, oh, we're going to get a kill while we do this and do it in a gank way. That was very smart to see, like a level 3 gank. So now Alliance is going to swap their lanes as well, and they're back to standard laning style, but Vega got advantage out of it first.
Yeah, the problem is, though, for Vega, they're not farming that well. You see Gyrocopter has 17 last hits, 14 coming out from S4. Actually, it looks like the Mag's doing pretty well, all things considered. This is not an easy lane. Meanwhile, bottom lane, there's 3 heroes here for Alliance. They've even rotated Aki. This is now a full tri-lane, but coming in, Simo might get caught out. Solo's here as well. They're looking for EGM. He's going to be the one that's caught. They get up the Insair. He actually gets up the telekinesis on the Centaur Conqueror, but the glimpse back in as well. The last right click will fly with a Thunderstrike on top, and Simo will be able to pry the kill. And another gank coming the way of Vega, this time getting the Rubik.
Was that a smoke broken or something?
I don't think so.
He had a ward in that area, and he did seem like he was trying to juke around the neutrals, so I wonder if it was a smoke gank. I'm not quite sure.
Nag is going to rotate up top lane. He's actually done very well in terms of farm. 16 last hits. He avoided the rocket barrage down bottom. He stayed alive against Loda and EGM. And so the laning phase, again, there's a lot of farm going the way of Alliance, but I feel like Vega is getting ahead because of the amount of kills they're getting here.
Yeah, it's certainly helping for sure. It'll help their experience a lot, actually. And it also just says, okay, even if they're farming well, we're going to be able to catch up a little bit due to small amounts of comeback mechanics. So
Yeah.
it does still exist in the game, but it's in a pretty balanced place right now.
I mean, what else do we have going on here? It looks like no one was getting the regen rune, thank God, because he was taking a lot of damage coming out from the Lich from Ake, and S4 could jump in and use the Scream of Pain. Instead, he'll pop the regen rune. He's going to throw up a couple of shockwaves. Again, CS-wise, he's now at 19. S4 has got a bit more of an advantage as he's picked up a little bit of extra farm in the lane. He's almost level 6. We'll see if he wants to run with this. S4 not getting involved just yet. Meanwhile, top is going to be a catch-out onto Mag, going to work his Bulldog. He's popped the Scorched Earth. He's already used the Infernal Blade he got early. The Telekinesis is back, and Mag will fall. The Fade Bolt comes through, and the last right click will fly for Bulldog to get that pickup.
Can't want these boars to be dead.
Give me
And
that
he is
gold.
going to eat one. Dude, that's probably the best creep to devour in the whole game, that boar.
Yeah. That's pretty
It's
nice.
probably tasty, dude. I mean, he shoots poison tendrils, but as long as you avoid the poison sacks, you're going to be set.
Yeah, you're good to go. I feel like
It's a pig, dude.
it doesn't actually like give you the passive either, like most creeps do. He
That's a good
still
point.
thunderclap. I was
It'd be
really surprised that he
way
didn't do that.
too good. It's like 40% slow and movement speed.
Yeah,
and
that'd be
attack
probably
speed.
broken.
That'd be extremely broken.
Can you
dude.
imagine like an Infernal Blade proc coming out with a slow on top of that? You're
Yeah.
like, well, I guess I'm just dead now.
What if you stole the hawk and you couldn't go full invis after 4 seconds? That one doesn't sound as good.
No, because you're moving around all the time and
But-
you're just like, well, I guess.
The boar one would be way OP. 40% slow, 3 seconds. That's like an uber Scotty.
There's the
All right,
Fade
Mag
Bolt.
might die again
Lift.
here.
Mag's going
Oh,
to
he
get caught.
did.
EGM
Okay.
just gets in range. The Rocket Barrage, though, has already been used. Loda's got it in right now. He actually will just get this kill.
Yeah.
Rocket Barrage, pretty short cooldown. Doesn't matter if you miss it. Now bottom, it looks like there's going to be a catch-out here on Nasima. They glimpse back the Doom, I believe. I think he TP'd in. Now Ake's the one in trouble. He'll try to TP out, and he won't make it away. The last right click comes up from Pasha. It was so close, but the Dark Pact did just enough damage.
I was going to tell a good joke. Wait, no, it wasn't a joke. Loda basically gave up. He was like, oh, we didn't get the lift. That's bad. Then all of a sudden the lift hit, and he's like, oh, we can get a kill. And then did gyro things. You know, just walked and killed.
Doesn't
So-
matter if he misses the first spell, because guess what? It's like a 6-second cooldown. Who
Yeah.
cares?
I mean, Alliance is in a fine place. I mean, there's the potential that Ake might overfeed this game, but that's kind of what happens on Lich in a lot of cases. Like, with Disruptor in the game, your position is so punished, and you can't just stun your opponents to deal with it. So if he gets out of position, he basically dies to Slark, and I don't think that's going to be the end of that happening. Now, one downside, though, is that Pasha here has got 4 assists rather than 4 kills. When you go really high in kills, I think it makes a huge difference on carries especially.
Radiant's
And
top
maybe it'll help
tower
out his
is
supports a
under
bit more,
attack.
but I mean, he's going to want to really snowball hard here, and he can definitely do it. He's going to be going for treads with a Basilius in the early game.
He's not farming that well, though, all things considered. If he was getting assists as
True.
well as getting good last hits, I'd say he's in a good spot. That's not the case. He's going to have level 6 soon, so he'll be able to regen up and be a bit more effective and just surviving and be able to go up and farm. He's actually very scared of Bulldog now down in this bottom lane. He's going to have another hero rotating, and that'll be Aki to throw up a Frost Blast, so that is kind of scary. And Bulldog is level 6, so he does have Doom. He's got plenty of mana for it, plus he has a Mango as well to use it if he wants to go for that. He's got some support from Seema, but for now, it's just going to be backing up. Poshure's not going to be able to get that much farm. Mid lane, though. S4 is going to get some help, but they have a good ward behind the tower. They will spot out Ake. And that means that no one might be a little bit careful here. He's not really backing up just yet. The Shadow Strike's going to fly. The Sonic Wave is available, but S4 is taking a lot of damage coming up from Shockwaves and just in general. And now no one continues to just cancel the RP animation. Yeah, we see you've got it. All right.
That's good for him, man. He can press the S button. Lich is still in a position to gank mid, though. Again, really good ward vision from the Radiant team. All in places that's going to notice rotations between the off lane and the mid. Because those are the lanes that they're probably going to pressure. Ganking the safe lane is pretty standard, but in a lot of cases, you expect your opponent to have wards there. So rather instead, what Vega has done is put wards in places where their opponents aren't normally going to have vision, so that they can have a vision advantage there during the nighttime.
Yeah. Gonna spot out. Okay, they'll see that S4 is not currently in the lane. They can imagine he's probably jungling. A lot of heroes down bottom. Posh is finally getting some extra room to work with. Bulldog is down here, and he's alone, so he's not going to really walk that far up. He's going to be going for Drum. At least he's got the Bracer for now. So, you know, Phase Drum, the Utility Doom, getting those aura items coming out is pretty standard stuff.
Yeah. Did you know that both Ake and EGM have Gem TD wards?
Oh,
But different ones.
Excellent. I really... Where? Can you give me some...
well, this one on the top lane here, protecting the safe lane, it's called a Silver. It's like literally the most basic tower. And this other one placed on the mid lane, this is a Uranium 235. It is a advanced tower, but not as powerful as the one that immediately upgrades after it. Both are Gem TD wards.
I'm really glad that you were able to tell me all
Thank
this.
you.
That was just a lot of information. EGM's going to find out solo. He's actually going to get caught in a bad spot. The telekinesis will fly. S4 is about to come in. He's got Sonic Wave. The Roar will come out, though. Notice Static Storm available. They already bring out EGM. They use the usage of the Shockwave coming up from the State of Tormentor. S4 will blink into the river. He's going to die, though. The Thunderstrike, as well as the usage of the Urn, is going to grab the kill for Seema. That's 2 quick pickups for Vega, and they continue to gain an advantage in terms of kills over Alliance.
Yeah, he was trying to figure out where to blink, but all of a sudden the Disruptor came from the right side, and he hesitated a bit, and he ended up blinking north instead, which was good, but he took just a little too much damage there, and that indecision got him killed. He's got 51 CS in 9 minutes, which is amazing. He's still farming very well, but that's a bad position to be in as a co-op to feed your first death.
Why was
without getting
EGM
killed.
there also? Because they didn't have a ward placed out there. Maybe
He's probably getting ready for a wraparound on Beastmaster.
Okay.
Just push the tower in, have the support in position, do the lift, throw him into the gyro, you get a kill.
It just seemed like an awkward place to be, especially as a squishy Rubik. But
yeah, I mean, yeah, you sometimes do have to put yourself in a place where your opponents could find you and you get a kill, but that's part of playing Dota. You know, you have to do slightly dangerous stuff to have the potential to get kills.
Yeah.
If you just play standard and only are in your lane, then your opponents always know where you are, and you're not going to get successful ganks off. So, you know, sometimes you will be out of position like that.
It doesn't quite work out for Alliance, and now Vega are going to have another tool at their disposal. They've yet to use reverse polarity. That will all change. His Blink Dagger is now done. We'll see if they go for a smoke, much like a Bat Rider reveal. He's already going to TP down to the bottom lane. They want to pick up a kill here on Bulldog, and I don't see it really being unsuccessful unless the creep wave will spot him out. He'll stay here behind the tree line. He'll wait until Bulldog walks up to go for a last hit or two.
Radiant's top tower is
They
under
do have a
attack.
ward for the Radiant team as well, so they see exactly where he is, but he's playing very passively, and here we go. They're going to wrap
knows
around
why,
with Seema.
dude.
They're going to look for a glimpse. They can't quite find it yet. He's got level 3. They get it now. There's going to be the Static Storm and Thunderstrike as well. Jump in. Shockwave will actually miss, but he's still taking a lot of damage. He's got the Scorcher thread. He's going to pop it up.
Oh, he's going to live?
He's going to stay alive. The impetus almost brought him down, but was not enough. And now EGM coming through as well. Telekinesis. It's going to not hit on no one. Jump in.
Oh,
RP onto
man.
2. EGM skewer back as well. They're going to find Ake. They pop into the Chain Frost. They'll take some damage, but it's going to be a double kill for Solo. Big pickup coming out. The Blink Dagger reveal is successful after a missed gank on Bulldog.
Bulldog's got to be really frustrated with that because he knew there was a gank going on. They were pushing in top, and they were at tower, and nobody was there. So they're like, okay, if nobody's top, then that means they're ganking somewhere, right? Or they're roshing, but it's too early to rosh. So that must mean they're ganking bottom. That's why he sat back so far. But the problem is the Disruptor with Glimpse just he increases your gank possibilities by so much. All he has to get is within range, and the Glimpse comes back. And so here's the call down.
There's the Sonic Wave. They're going to jump in. They're going to get Solo as well. The call down came through. He's going to get doomed up. He's doing some damage to S4, but still, the Infernal Blade will come out, and Loda will get the last right click.
All right, well, and they get 2 kills to respond. So Alliance is now pretty happy and fine with this. They can push the lane out a bit. They don't have to deal with RP. The Disruptor's dead for a bit.
Nice gang coming up from Alliance. Those two pickups, obviously. Two supports, but still had a lot of, I think, gold saved up. I think he had a pretty good bounty going his way. He's had 4 kills this game so far. That's a nice pickup. And they're going to put pressure here on the tier 1 tower. Bulldog comes through. He does have the Wild Wing Ripper with the Tornado and the Toughness Aura to get that bonus number. They were looking to set up
Oh, they got the Glimpse.
kill. Oh, Glimpse comes back in. There's going to be the Static Storm. It's just off cooldown. Bulldog's still in trouble. The Impetus 6 is just going to try to range him and do as much as possible with it. And they will finally find the kill on the Doom. Pretty good gank coming out from Vega.
He showed that he could survive against just Enchant and Disruptor, but with the Slark on top of that, there's no solution there. He does buy out before he dies again. Not that he died last time, of course. He's got a drum and a phase now. Pretty solid early game items. And we'll see if they can get more out of their lanes. EGM is level 6 here. He's going to steal a spell, but he doesn't want Empower. He's waiting for Shockwave here. Very smart of him.
Yeah, there it is.
And now he'll steal.
There it is. Good stuff. EGM will find Shockwave. Do some damage to no one. He's a little bit low in HP. He does have 10 wand charges as well as a Fairy Fire, but he's not. He's actually pretty close to Arcane.
Yeah.
And you really need that for, I think, a Rubik. I think that's one of the most important items you can get, because I feel like you do have a mana problem with all the spells you're casting.
Considering how important it is, it's actually amazing that he has Shockwave, because keep in mind, Shockwave is unbalanced around a strength hero that has a very low mana pool. It does 300 damage for 90 mana, whereas if you use Fade Bolt, it does 280 AoE for 150. So he can get like way more value out of his damage per mana, and that means he can actually just AFK jungle with Shockwave for a little bit here to farm. It's actually pretty incredible that he got this ability for that reason.
S4 is taking up some stacks in the jungle himself, so he's going to try to get up to that, what seems to be an Orchid. He has the Sage's Mask at the ready. Top lane Loda is farming very well. He's got the Sanj, and he's getting closer and closer to that Blade of Alacrity, and inevitably the Yasha as well. But still, everyone else on Vega is also farming. You can see a couple of items coming out. The Beastmaster has book 1 now.
That's pretty good.
Solo has had his earn for a while. There's going to be a Shadow Blade for Pasha.
And EGM caught the Hawk coming in as well with the Shockwave. That was pretty solid.
Yeah.
But that's going to reveal that they had a ward, though, so that's kind of a bad thing as well.
Let's see. Mag is still working on getting his book 2, I think. I don't believe it's coming out. I think that's a Staff of Wizardry. Probably a 4-staff coming out for the Mag. But here's a Smoke of Deceit gang coming up from Vega. They're going to try to find a pickup. There's nobody mid. They don't have vision really anywhere on the map except for bottom, but they're going to head to the jungle. Can they get S4? And they've got RP. The Mag is there. He's blinked down to the low ground. They ping him out, I believe, or maybe he was the one that pinged out. I don't think he broke the smoke, and they're looking for S4. Can they find him? It's nighttime. They don't have the best vision. They're going to walk up high ground. They're going to see an illusion. They're going to RP it, but they don't know that it's not the real one. And he's going to blink away. It just broke the smoke coming through. I think he did cancel the RP animation, but the Solo's going to come out. They're going to get the Sonic Wave off, the Shadow Quick, the Chain Frost. They'll find a kill. That's a lot just for an Enchantress, but still.
Just farming. No problem here. No, the reason that worked out so badly for Vega was that S4 was on the high ground, and he sent the illusions down, and his hero broke the smoke on one. So they saw smoke break, so they said, "Oh, smoke broke," and then you see a hero, and it's just an illusion. So it got roared. It was a nice setup there for Alliance for him to send illusions to the right when they figured a smoke was there.
He's going to transition into a push now for Alliance. They're going to take down the top tier 1 tower. This will provide Loda. Actually, he's just picked up the casual Sanj, and now he's going for the Ogre Club. It looks like he will inevitably go for the BKB first instead of getting the full. Oh, jump in. There's going to be the usage of the Magnus RP. They get the scoop back with the Static Storm. S4 as well as Loda are going to fall. Great initiation coming out. Now Admiral Bulldog on the run. He'll try to tip you away, but the Glimpse back will catch him, and he's in trouble. He's got plenty of move speed, slowed up by the Enchant. There's the jumper with the Pounce, and they'll find the kill. Bulldog will fall, and so will 2 others from Alliance. All 3 cores are dead.
Man.
Vega, great initiation.
They got way overconfident there due to the Primal Roar being on cooldown. They're like, oh, this is fine. We got 2 kills. We're going to be able to set this up, but a great initiation there by the Magnus secures those kills, and great follow-up as well with the Disruptor ult. That was orchestrated so beautifully. Like, he just knew exactly where he was going to skewer to there. They didn't communicate about it. They said, "That's going to be about here," and he brings it in. It was really well done.
That was an impressive play. Just really good team coordination to find those 3 kills. They are gladly willing to give up their tier 1 tower to get themselves 3 core kills that will provide them so much money. No one gets the 4-staff off the back end of it. It's going to be a great start here as Alliance. Well, they're a little bit behind now, I think, after that team fight.
Their KDA is not looking amazing on a lot of their heroes, and the net worth is jumping up pretty high for Vega. That said, Alliance's team fight is still very good. They've got Chain Frost, Call Down, Quap Ult, Doom. They can pick somebody out of the fight, but they've got to initiate on their terms instead of getting RP'd.
Here we go, Quarterstaff picked up as well for the Enchantress. The Dragonlance coming out, but here's a smoke coming through. Alliance looking to jump on a couple of heroes as well. Seam of the Slayer as well as Solo going to get caught. There's going to be the usage of The Scream of Pain, jumping with the Shadow Strike. They get off the Infernal Blade. He gets forced out by no one, the Magnus. They'll jump in another Scream of Pain coming out from S4. They pop the Shockwave up. They don't really want to fight now. Jump and skewer back. They get the roar onto S4 as well. The Axe is coming through. They pop in the neck with 3. They get off the Static Storm, hits no one. But Loda's going to come in with a call down. Mag will be the first to fall. And they'll pick up the Necro units as well. Solo's about to go down. The Scream of Pain will provide them the kill. Nine Posture getting chased down as well. This is going to be the fight for Alliance. So now they get the glimpse back as well. Stolen by EGM. Telekinesis left beautifully done from Alliance. They'll get 3 of their own. Great team fight coming from them. Back and forth we go. And this time they will take the Tier 1 tower as well, it looks like.
It's such a huge steal from EGM to grab Glimpse, like 20 or 18-second cooldown here, and they can do all the annoying things that Vega does. Plus, he can combo with more damage and more stun than Rubik or than Disruptor can provide. It's so strong. Like, he keeps grabbing the best skills, even if they are basic skills. Giving those advantages are great, and no one's in position to go for an RP if he wants. But Alliance is learning their lesson. They're like, all right, guys, we're not taking risks anymore. We're going to take good team fights. But we're backing after.
Yeah, they are going to back now. They know that the threat of the RP is very real, especially after the last team fight. Still, a win for Alliance, getting that team fight victory. That gives them an even gold lead. I won't say lead. I guess it's just even in terms of net worth graph right now. The experience-wise, it's going a little bit in their favor, 1,000. So they turn it around after that last team fight. Pasha, he's getting Shadow Blade up. He needs some help to kill S4. Ake could be a better target. He's in a tree line as well. TP coming through.
They'll look for him now.
They're going to be. They're going to have no one here in the mag looking for it. There's the Shockwave, easy pick up as they get off the usage of the pounce. Coming out with the Shadow Blade, right click. That's more than enough to get the kill.
When I watch the support die like that against the Slark, it just makes me not want to ever play Dota again, because I'm just like, I empathize with this life where you get like he could do actually nothing there. Hit, pounce, dead. That's what happens.
He's like, I got ice armor. That's going to help right now.
Yeah, like, it's not fun to play Lich against the Slark, because he's just going to keep disabling you like that. He's going to keep killing you. Like,
that's the story of any real squishy support, I feel like, against the Slark, unless there's a really good disable.
Yeah, definitely. It's a pain in the butt, man.
They're going to try to transition this into a Tier 1 tower. They will be successful as Alliance is not in a position to defend this. They can try to TP in. By the time they get there, the Tier 1 tower will fall. They're looking to head over there, and maybe they could try to go for Rosh or something. They don't have the best Roshing lineup. We'll see what other items. They picked up the Vlads. That will help them out, certainly, just in team fights in general. So the 2 aura items coming out from the Doom, the utility Doom coming in from Bulldog. What else do we have going on here? Yules has been picked up for the Queen of Pain, so I spoke too soon. I thought it was going to be an Orca, but the Yules instead against the Static Storm, pretty damn solid. In general, if you can see no one TPing in, we've seen the Yules really destroy a Magnus before, with yesterday Sumail playing the Mag and not having a great time.
I like what Ake did. He actually sentryed for the Hawk there. It's just important to get the Hawk killed while you push, because it's basically like, even if it's a temporary ward, if it wins you a fight or guarantees you a tower kill without them being able to defend, it's easily worth 100 gold for a trade there. Oh, and they do a smoke.
They're going to go right after they take the Tier 1 tower mid. Pushing was Vega, but they're going to know something's up as now Alliance are off the map. The TP's going to come through. That will be from Loda. Loda's picked up his full BKB. He's farmed very well after that last team fight in the top lane and then the one in the mid. So he's done a great job, and he's going to probably get his SNY next. He could just keep this as a casual challenge, which is pretty interesting, but he just bought something on the courier. And that is the Blade of Alacrity, so it will be the SNY.
Yeah, I think a lot of teams have been doing this occasionally on Gyro just because they want that early survivability that SNY provides, but they don't want to delay their BKB by an extra 3-4 minutes, because that can make a difference. Like, if a fight would have happened here, then Alliance Gyrocopter is far worse than he would be. Like, Sark would kind of be able to eat him alive and all of this other magic damage. If he gets Static Storm, he just dies. With the BKB, it's now a really scary thing for Vega to take a fight, because they don't have a BKB on Slark. His HP's not high enough for him to fight either. It's weak for their heroes in a lot of cases.
This BKB is going to be a nuisance for Vega. They need a lot more farm to come through. They are doing okay in terms of net worth. They'll take the Tier 1 tower, but this will inevitably be a trade for Roche, and Alliance will be happy with that. Loda will pick up the Aegis, so not only does he have a BKB and SMY coming out here pretty soon, he's got the Aegis as well. This is going to be very difficult for Vega to fight into, even with an RP and a couple of other ultimates like Roar.
He's got 1,600 HP right now. That's very, very high. He doesn't have any lifesteal, and we normally see that on a Gyro, but I think this build is honestly better in a lot of cases rather than the, buy Helm of the Dominator, then I get a SNY, then I get BKB. Like, I like the simple Sange into BKB. I think that's a better way to do it if you do have a good team fight lineup like Alliance does.
You have to commit a lot of abilities and ultimates to bring down Loda, even just the first time. I think that's really the biggest deal, is you can't kill him. They're going to try to push the Tier 1 tower, which will get them some extra map control, especially to get into the enemy jungle. Top lane, no one in crew were pushing up into the Tier 2. They did barely any damage to this tower, and they will TP out as well. So both teams kind of dancing around each other. I imagine Vega doesn't want to fight into the Aegis. They want to be able to farm and fight on their terms when the Aegis is gone. And Solo has picked up, actually, his Dragonland, so good stuff there.
Yeah, Dragonlance obviously very good because it increases the range of Enchantress. She's got so many kills, 5 kills, 6 assists. Done a great job. He will TP out here. There's a SNY ready for Slark as well. Lich's day continues to get worse and worse. Although Ake is quite farmed here. He's got 1,100 gold due to this Roche kill that they got and some of the towers. So when he gets a Ghost Scepter, things get a lot better. He'll still take Dark Pack damage, but delaying your death by 2 seconds or forcing an extra nuke to go on your hero rather than on your carries could make a difference for their teams.
So you think he's just going to go straight Ghost Scepter? I mean, maybe you could go Force Staff, but...
Glimmer is also an option,
Right.
definitely. But if he was going Glimmer, I think he would buy the Cloak first.
Yeah.
Oh, there's something to be said about getting a Shadow Amulet and just standing there invis and forcing them to go on somebody else first. That can be useful too.
Yeah.
I feel like that's actually a little underused, but I think it's mostly just because people just transition into like an actual item and they never just hold the Shadow Amulet by itself. Too easy to counter.
There's a lot of options for Ake. The Ghost Scepter is about to be completed if he wants it. Bulldog has picked up a Blink Dagger, so he's got some really good initiation now coming through. Blink Doom is a thing. He can pop his Drum Charge as well, so they have some really good team fight now coming up from the lines, whereas it used to be all Vega in terms of their team fight. Blink, RP, Static Storm, Dark Pact, all of those fights, all of those items, all those abilities. So
if he can Doom like Magnus, I think they kind of just win the fight.
good.
Maybe Slark as well.
They get the kinetic field, stops the lines from pushing up to the high ground, so it gives some more room for Vega to back up and away. They get the TP out from Solo to make sure he survives, and he's going to head top lane. And the split push will continue. Mag has a book 3 now. He's going to work on this tier 2 tower in the top lane. They'll probably go for a trade, though, as Alliance is down here in the bottom lane. He's going to push out this creep wave. And again, it's just Vega does not... They have good team fight. They just don't want to fight into A, the BKB, and B, the Aegis of Loda. And Doom as well, I think, is a pretty big issue.
It's really hard to take this fight here. It all comes down to if they can initiate on Lich or Rubik. But they've got really good ward setup. But this is what you do when you're playing against Slark. You put sentries next to where the push is, because he's always going to come from the side. And a great observer would as well, anticipating this. But Vega wants nothing of this fight for now. They're just going to take this tier 2 on the other side of the map, and Alliance is going to be happy with what they can get. They might just go high ground and keep forcing. Nope, they go back.
They're going to TP it home. They're going to TP into the tier 2 tower. They will be able to defend this tier 2. Again, not that much damage put on the tower, even with
Rubik gets
Necro
caught.
3. Meanwhile, when EGM is going to get caught, there's going to be the usage of the right clicks from Pasha, or rather, excuse me, Solo. They get off the huge, I think, shockwave coming in. They doom up Pasha as well. Bulldog will jump in. Gets glimpsed back all the way down to the bottom lane. S4 will try to chase after Pasha. He's so fast. RP about to go. He uses it, and the Yules comes out as well. The shockwave comes through. RP wasted coming out from Vega. And Alliance is low. He's pretty low on the other side. Ake's going to get caught. These impetus hits as well as the shockwave will do more than enough damage, and Pasha will take the kill by just getting a single right click. They've got 2. They want Loda. They want a 3rd hero. They won't be able to find him yet. They'll continue to push mid instead.
Dude, Alliance got... I mean, they got a lot of it. Well, there's a lot of advantage going to Vega for that. Like, Alliance did an okay job. S4 dodged the RP, but that was very, very bad for them. I think S4 got a little lucky in the RP. I think he was just going to use himself to buy himself 2.5 seconds and stop impetus damage. But the RP happened to come at the same moment, so he gets kind of wrecked there. RP misses, but they do get 2 kills. And they pressure the towers a bit more.
God, these impetus hits are insane. Jumping Infernal Blade. Pasha's going to get caught. He pops the Shadow Blade. He's got the Shadow Dance as well. They drop the Static Storm. It destroys Bulldog. They have to use up. Loda's here, though. He's going to pop the Rocket Barrage from the call down. Will go to work and take Solo down. They take Pasha. The Chain Frost. And Ake will get himself a double kill as Loda comes in to save the day. Sioma is going to get caught. He's going to TP back on the sentry is there, but they have no disables to bring him down. They lose Bulldog. S4 somehow survives with 50 HP now top lane. EGM looking for the jump. He's going to get the huge roaring from Mag. He gets off the Wild Axes as well. They pick up the kill.
He'll die for it.
Yeah, it looks like he probably will fall. He's already got the tier 2 tower, though. He's going to get chased down. The Rocket Barrage will come in. They have the homing missile as well to take him down. He'll buy out before dying. He picks up a Blank Dagger. He buys the smoke as well. And Loda gets yet another kill. He's picked up the Helm of the Dom. He's got the SNY. He's got 1,400 gold as well. And he continues to farm effectively.
Well, Beastmaster got more gold from killing Rubik than Alliance did from killing Beastmaster, but that gold is basically going from EGM to a Beastmaster to a carry. And that's why I think that wasn't necessarily... Like, I think it was okay for EGM to make that play. He did get killed, but he put Roar on cooldown, and he put gold towards his carry. Not that the cooldown matters that much. It'll be off cooldown by the time he's up. But now Loda's got 1,900 gold in the bank. Like, he finished S&Y shortly ago. He also got a Helm of the Dominator now, so he still is going the standard build. He's going to do a lot of stacking, but he's going to transition really nicely as a carry. And Slark can do the same. Slark's also had a very good game. He did die in that last fight. That was it ended up being an okay trade by Alliance. It seemed like an overextension by Bulldog, but sometimes you need to feed for your team to get some success here. And that was clearly what Bulldog did. He jumped in. He didn't get a lot of value, but he did force his opponents to go on him. He did force the Slark to use his ultimate to guarantee the kill on Doom, which afterwards allowed Alliance to disable the Slark and get him killed. So for the good of the team, man, Bulldog dies, but his team gets a bunch of advantage out of it.
And as soon as Loda came into the fight, he was able to take down a couple of heroes. They really just wanted Loda involved in any sort of engagement whatsoever, and they finally get it done. And it feels like also Mag is just, no one's not having a great game. He's had the 2 really big RPs in the couple of team fights earlier, but again, now there's a BKB. They've got the Yules up for the Quap. It's, at least that last fight, I shouldn't say he's had a bad game. It's just he's kind of in a rough spot now.
Yeah, that's kind of what happens every time I feel like Mag gets picked in Captain's Draft. Like, he just is okay, but he doesn't let the player really make the hero look good. Like, remember the time when, like, Mags would go play mid and they'd just own the whole game?
Yeah.
But the hero is just so disable focused now. Like, I haven't seen Mags get like solo kills in forever. It might just be the skill build, because they often do max out on power after Shockwave with a simple 2 skewers. And at that stage, you can't get a solo kill. You just don't have enough nuke damage, but individually. So it's, I don't know. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's as a result. But maybe this is the game. He's bought a Shadow Blade.
Yeah, I thought that was very interesting. I mean, I'm totally down to see some cool plays with Shadow Blade. But I feel like what's the point of going Shadow Blade, though, if he gets a blink as well as a force? I mean, I guess maybe to get out of an initiation. If
It's not just that. It's because if you have blink and force, then you have to know where your opponents are for you to initiate on them. What Shadow Blade does, it lets you get into position while also letting you look to see if there happen to be heroes there without revealing that you're there.
That's a good point.
If you have a blink or a force, you can't quite do that. And if you know about where their wards probably are, you can use Shadow Blade. You can spend the, 14 seconds to get to the side of the map where they maybe don't have wards, and have a lower chance of you getting seen. So it's basically 3 items that give you mobility advantage over your opponents.
I feel like there's a lot of good Sentry vision coming out from Alliance, though, so the Shadow Blade might be caught, especially because there's also a Shadow Blade up the Slark, and I imagine inevitably Alliance will pick up a gem at some point in time.
Like, you're right, it's definitely a possibility, but what else does Magnus buy? You can buy, like, he's incredibly farmed at 28 minutes, by the way, for a Magnus.
He's doing very well.
And the Shadow Blade is also nice because it gives you attack speed, which makes up for the lack of attack speed he had. And Empower is already doing a lot of plus damage, so attack speed plus that is great. He's farming really fast, especially because of Arcane Boots. He can spam spells, he can auto-attack. The Shadow Blade is not just giving him setups, it's also giving him late game carry potential.
You see a lot of utility coming out from Magnuses, and I think the biggest item that you'll see coming out is probably a Refresher Orb. And that could happen.
Yeah.
They're going to catch out Pasha. They pop up the telekinesis, double RP coming out. They're going to get the skewer back as well. That's both on supports. On the other side, they get the Glimpse back up. That'll be on to Loda. Pasha will grab the kill. Now coming in is S4. Static Storm will fly. He's got the Yules. TMO will try to take you out, but there's the Yules picked up. And it's going to be, they jump in onto the scene. Like the last right click, S4 will get the job done with Loda coming in to help out and support as best as possible. It's a 2-for-1 trade in the end. It's definitely worth it for Vega to begin. It's just all supports for like, all these big abilities, really. I mean, that's it.
They just keep blowing up the Alliance supports. There's not that much they can do still. Looks like EGM's finished an Aether Lens at least, so he might be slightly less out of position. But against the Slark, like there's not really a position that's ever going to be safe. He's going to run you down, he's going to look for you, and then he's going to kill you. The only solution is for his allies to back them up. You see Slark run into Sentry Ward range, and you Doom him and kill him right away. Doom will have that advantage soon. He is going to be building an Ags, and this is the right way that Ags got changed, in my opinion. It turned Ags into an item that's situational. What it does is it can refresh the duration if you're within range, but the damage doesn't increase, and it does apply break. So it's going to stop things like Enchantress's Untouchable if they Doom Enchant. It'll stop also Slark's passive.
Which is huge.
It used to do that automatically. Now you have to get a Doom for it, but Slark is then planned ahead for this. He says, well, Doom's Doom is about to become really dangerous. I'm going to get a Linken's, and he's already got it.
That's huge. It's going to provide him not only just the spell block, but it's also going to provide plenty of regen coming out. He's got a lot of HP now. He's got a lot of mana as well. So Linken's Sphere is a huge item come from him. He's a lot of tankiness. He's also, he's actually got more HP than Loda, who has an S and Y and a BKB. So you could see that this is actually just a great item choice for Slark, and he's already got the Shadow Blade and SMY, so he does a lot of damage. Might go for Scotty or something along those lines next. Maybe needs to get an MKB for the Inevitable Butterfly, and also the Talisman of Evasion coming out for the Gyrocopter. So
The glimpse S4 backwards. That's
no one has got the Shadow Blade. He's looking for the initiation. Everyone has come up for Alliance, but they're going to head over to the Roach Pit again. They might take the Ancient Stack first. We'll see if Vega can try to find this initiation and team fight. Mag continues to split push top lane. The Sonic Wave will go to clear out the creep wave, but already in the Roach Pit is Bulldog ready to go. His Axe isn't done yet, but we'll see if Vega want to defend this.
I think they're going to wait until, I mean, they obviously don't want to let him roach. If they're roaching, they go. But Solo almost has his Ags. He's about 700 gold away, and that'll increases his range and his survivability by a lot. Once they have Ags and Enchantress, they've got a huge damage source. They just need Slark to attack. They can see Slark, by the way. They might just back up and Blink Doom him, but the problem is that Admiral Bulldog's the one tanking.
Here comes Pasha. He's going to jump into Shadow Blade. He doesn't actually get the right click
Oh,
off.
he gets
There's
Doom
going to be
off.
the Doom, the usage of the huge Static Storm as well as the RP. Doing some massive work. Bulldogs, though, they haven't killed anybody yet. They'll finally bring down the Rubik. On the other side, Solo's right-clicking down Ake. Again, the support's first to be dead, and Bulldog will fall, but Loto jumping in, looking for Solo, looking for the Rocket Barrage. The Doom will go away. Pasha no longer duped up. The Shockwave will
Butterfly
fly
at least.
through. Pasha just continues to go to work, and he'll turn his attention to S4. He can't chase after Loto. Meanwhile, no one will. With the Shockwave, he's got Skewer up in 10, and Power's ready to go. They will take 3 heroes to 2. A great trade for Vega again, but they can't quite find those cores anymore. And Mag is split pushing top lane. He got the tier 3 tower. The range Rax is taking a lot of damage. Loto will never really clear up the push, but still, this is going to provide Roche going to the way of Vega. They'll get Pasha the Aegis, and no one getting a huge RP again.
Yeah,
So much.
I think the biggest mistake that Alliance made there was that Bulldog was the one tanking Roche. It could have been the Gyro. Gyro had evasion, he had lifesteal, and what needed to happen is you need to make sure that Bulldog can instantly blink. So he was hitting Roche, he was tanking it. They saw the Slark a little bit, and then they had to wait like half a second, 1 second for the Roche Blink Dagger cooldown to go away. He needed to instantly be ready to blink and ulti. And if they would have been able to go in before Slark initiated, then Ake would have had more HP, they might have gotten more value out of their supports, they might have just killed Slark right away, and the whole thing could have changed. But they did need something to break Linken's first, though. And that's the thing that makes it hard. Bulldog can't just blink and doom. He's got to wait for somebody else to break in. That's probably going to be Rubik.
Yeah.
You can use Spell Steal or Fade Bolt or something.
He's got a Blink Dagger, so EGM is actually pretty damn farmed, all things considered,
Yeah.
with how this game is going. No one himself has picked up a Shiva's Guard, so they've got even more AoE damage. The extra armor going his way, extra intelligence as well as just the attack speed slow, which is huge.
He's so farmed.
Yeah.
He's actually so farmed this game. This is impressive, and this is starting to show, like, okay, this guy's really
He's
good
more
at
farmed than
Dota 2.
S4, which is pretty insane when you think about it.
It's not too surprising. I mean, like, S4 is a great farmer, and Queen of Pain does have AoE spells.
Right.
This Magnus has AoE spells and AoE attacks
Yeah,
at this point.
with the Empower. You're right. And he now has a double damage rune picked up as well as RP now off cooldown, ready to go. Pasha with the Aegis. Now it's going to be Alliance's turn to either dodge fights or just look for solo pickoffs, which is what they're doing. They're to look up for a Smoke of Deceit gank at the top lane. They'll try to find something. Vega themselves might be going for a smoke here pretty soon. Beastmaster picking up a Perseverance. We'll see if he goes for the Lotus Orb. Do they have a smoke up? Not on them. They're all sitting around mid, though. It looks like Vega have an understanding that something is happening with Alliance. They're not on the map. They're not farming anywhere, with the exception of top lane.
Dude, Lotus is still actually incredibly farmed, though. He's so farmed for 34 minutes. Probably Satanic Mix or MKB. Either one would be an option, I think. Yeah, either one would be fine. Slark's very likely to go Scotty next, I think. Just overall make himself tankier. The slow would be really nice.
A lot of attacks.
He could hypothetically MKB as well, though. He might need to MKB because right now he can't do a gyro.
S4, Roar's going to come out. Mag gets the beautiful blink off. They'll jump it with the Shockwave too, and the impetus hits are too much to deal with. They're looking for more top. They can't find it. Already TPing out was the hero that was currently there, but still a huge pickup. Now there's going to be maybe a jump in. They're going to find Pasha. He's going to find the rest of the team. He's going to get caught. They've broken the Lincoln Sphere. Bulldog's going to come in. He's got Doom ready to go, and he's going to maybe pop it off. The Shadow Dance comes out just in time for Pasha. The animation was going. He's going to jump away. The homing missile comes through. Looking for the lift. He pounces. The lift is on cooldown for 8 seconds. The homing missile, and they can't chase Slark to the ends of the earth. They know the rest of the team is coming. In Alliance, they had a half a moment for Bulldog to jump in with the Doom, and he couldn't quite find it.
Yeah.
It's not there.
The ultimate was used, so he went invis. EGM had a great attempt too. He tried to TP to the tier 2 tower to get ahead of the Slark, but then the Slark ran left, so it actually would have been better if he kept walking, unfortunately, for Alliance there. If he got the pounce off, they would have had the kill, but he missed it.
Going to go to the high ground now. Pasha, his linkage will be broken, but you can see already the ice armor going to work at the tower. The flak cannon will fly as well. Pasha's pretty...
Oh, look at the damage.
Yeah, he's actually doing some serious work coming out, and Loda was getting pretty low as well. No one's getting ready for a blink and initiation with the RP, but still, they're not trying to push this too quickly. They can head top. They're going to clear out the creep wave. And remember, this range Rax is already pretty low, but Ake's done his work. He's put on the ice armor on all of the buildings. The tier 3 mid, the Rax top, and here comes Pasha. The Shadow Blade is up. Loda's going to come through. He's got the BKB. His Butterfly is done. S4 looking for a Shadow Strike. That'll mean the Pound Squid comes for Pasha. And they'll get reset, looking to go again, perhaps.
I really like that Loda's actually maxing out his homing missile now. A lot of gyro players say, whatever, levels 22 to 25, that skill sucks. But the reality is that it's worth casting occasionally, especially with the Lincolns in the game. And especially with a Slark, like, the homing missile hits invis heroes now. So if he just happens to not have Lincolns up or he happens to not have Dark backed up, you could stun the enemy carry for almost 3 seconds. That's amazing
Yeah, the stun
from a
ratio
carry
increase
position.
is pretty big. Yeah, I agree.
And even like the little poking that they're going to do. Oh, he might get initiated.
Loda's going to just get jumped on. The roar comes through. They'll pop up the Necro 3. He's got the butterfly. There's the Force into a beautiful RP. Static Storm on top, which is not even needed. And Vega destroy both of those heroes. Dead for 80 seconds. Loda, he's got the buyback. Force forward. There's going to be the use of the Shiva's Guard. EGM gets the lift off in time. Mag coming through. Great Sonic Wave into 2-man stun from the lift coming out. But still, it is a 3-for-1 exchange, but they'll catch more. Bulldog's going to be caught. The MKB damage is real. And Solo is hitting like a truck on this Enchantress. And finally, it's Rax time for Vega, getting the victory they needed here. And they might actually take this game. Alliance's win streak, it's at stake right now.
Hey, man, I'm really confused by Alliance's choice to just run to lane like that. Like, I think they were just absolutely sure that Vega went somewhere else. Because, like, they just ran to the lane, man. Loda just ran down that lane all the way there. It was like he was chasing somebody, and then all of a sudden there was 5 heroes, and they were like, let's just kill him. And they did a 5v2.
Shiva's Guard comes out from both teams. There's the rocket barrage and call down. Solo's in some trouble. They're going to use the flat cannon as well. He's about to fall. The Nature's Attendant's healing so much the Untouchable was tough to deal with. Seema's going to back away. Meanwhile, top lane, Shadowblade, the Sentry, no one's going to get used up. He's got 90 HP. The Screamer Pain will do the job. The last right click, he's still alive, but he's going to finally fall after the skewer coming through. He will not be able to make it out alive. And 2 sets of racks over. Even though Vega lose 3 heroes, they still have the Slark, who's picked up an MK. He's already got 2,800 gold on top of that. Finally, they get up. Oh, it's a refresher coming out from Mag. I thought it might be a Lotus Orb. Okay. He's got double Roar, double Necro Book coming out as well.
That's actually really good.
This is huge.
Like, I mean, Alliance did get like 2,500 gold swing out of that fight, but they lost a double racks because of that mistake. And I think they played really good up until that point, but that was just a moment of weakness there. Loda gets out of position. They lose 2 heroes. Bulldog gets caught as well while S4 is trying to get a pick off. And it's just the danger of the Slark, man. He's so hard to play against. But
that RP on top of the amount of damage they were already doing from Solo, who's, by the way, this is why Enchantress is an amazing hero. This is support Enchantress. Dragonlance, Ags, and 3,400 gold on top of that.
Well, he's been in, 20 kills, so that's where he's getting his money from.
That'll do the work, too.
Solo is actually he's been impressing me so much the last 6 months for his support play.
Yeah.
He does a lot of really good things.
The addition to Solo to this Vegas Squadron made the team that much better. The Satanic is now done in Alliance. They're going to try to at least get this tier 2 tower. Will they continue to push? The answer to that question is no, as Pasha's already pushing bottom. Roche is not going to respawn for a couple of minutes. The MKB was picked up, and now the next item for the Slark, you talked about Scotty. That'll inevitably come here. You can also go for a BKB or something along those lines. He'll pop up the Shadow Blade, the Shadow Dance, giving him that nice extra regen if he needed it. But now Bulldog will go back to the Ancients. He's going to get some work done. We'll see if they decide to go for a smoke, if they decide to push down that bottom and get that tier 2 tower. There's the BKB for Solo, and I imagine we're going to see another fight here in the near future for Vega.
Well, they're going to know where those sentry wards are at least. It doesn't look like they bought a gem just yet on Vega. They are going to buy one on the Lich, though. We're going to get an observer ward and a sentry here, and probably we'll catch the other one at the top of the rune spot.
Huge pickup. Loda is,
There's a hawk here that they don't know about.
Oh, they're coming in. Pasha's going to come through. They should have that gem now ready to go, at least on an Ake. It's not come out just yet. I think it's on the courier. It's finally come through. Now that Pasha's going to get caught up. There's the Shadow Dance going immediately. Big RP. It's going to be on to 2. Bulldog was roared up as well. He's about to fall.
Oh,
gets the Doom off, but it's Lincoln's. Static Storm coming up. The skewer back. Ake's going to fall. Loda gets used to the roar up as well. The second roar as he gets off the refresher up. The impetus hits are too much. It's a triple kill for Pasha, who's already doing so much damage in this team fight. 4 dead. Loda's dead for 92. S4 is going to get caught. He'll blink further into the tree line. They've got the vision. The shockwave. The hawk is there. In the last right click, it's going to be a team wipe. And Vega is moments away. There it is. GG, and finally Alliance will drop a game for the first time in some period.
Well, Vega just played that very, very well. Their early game was solid. They had some good early game rotations. I mean, Alliance maybe made a couple team fight mistakes, but they were fairly minor. It's so hard playing against the Slark when you have a Lich and a Rubik. And those early lane rotations that Vega did just absolutely won them the early game by a bit, edged them out a bit against Alliance, and they just couldn't take the team fights late game. Glimpse proved to be too much of a punish, and Beastmaster Roar and Slark, it's hard to deal with.
Well, that is just the first game of this best of 3 series, and Alliance will drop number 1, but still, there's number 2 to come up here more importantly, as we will have Vega taking this first game with an amazing play coming out from no one on the mag.
Yeah,
You
he
have
played
Pasha
great.
on the Slark. I mean, everybody really played well, I think, on Vega's side.
Yeah, they all played fantastic. And I said, oh, Magnus is always do bad, but he wrecked, man. He's got 214 last hits. He grabbed a lot of big, crucial RPs and good teamfight moments, always getting at least 2 people in his
Yeah.
RPs. That's hard to do.
There was very rarely an instance where he only got 1 or even whiffed the RP, and a lot of that had to do maybe with the Yule Scepter or something along those lines. So no one continues to impress, I think, as mid laners are concerned. And this is the upper bracket best of 3, so even if Alliance are to lose the next game, they still have another chance at maybe victory here later on down the road. But they're going to try to even up the series at 1 apiece as we will head into game number 2, guys. Make sure you stick around here for Captain's Draft 3.0. My name is Mont, with me is Purge. We'll see you guys shortly.